Hello guys! Welcome to the August paint party. Y'all know me, Hot Mess Express, trying to get my lighting and all the things to work correctly. All right, let's see. Let's see if I can get some light in here. Y'all come on in and tell me hello. Tell me what's going on. Y'all give me just a minute here. To get it together. I will be right with y'all. I'm trying to get my extension cord to reach, plug in everything that I need. Love it. Oh, that's terrible. Here we go. All right, hang on. I think if I can bring this extension cord up here, I can get some better lighting for y'all. So, here we go. Y'all would die laughing if you saw this setup. I mean, honestly. Oh, Lord. Lordy, lordy, lordy. Okay. Okay, now, let's turn it on. Let's see. Is that better? That's brighter, right? Okay. Oh, and now I just realized I went live from my phone instead of my extra phone. Okay, well, we're gonna turn off notifications so it doesn't ring in the middle of the video. What is up, y'all? Okay, I know some people are watching the replay because it's the middle of the day. No problemo. That's fine. We're gonna paint the Scarecrow door hanger. So excited. Okay, and I'm winging it. I'm totally winging it because I don't have a plan for how I'm painting them. How about that? We are gonna just see how this unfolds. That's more fun anyway, right? Okay, so I'm at the barn today. The shop, the barn. I don't know what to call it. Sometimes I call it the shop, sometimes I call it the barn. I don't know. As y'all know, I built this barn. My husband built this barn. Metal building. This summer, and we just moved over here, and I'm still just trying to figure out like the best setup for everything. I feel like I always say that though. I feel like I just can't ever get it all. I'm gonna get it together one day. I am. I'm gonna get it together. My life and everything else. Do y'all ever feel like that? All right, so I got my painter's tape on here, as y'all can see. Got everything laid out on here. I have been cutting on my laser all day, getting the files ready for y'all for September. God, is it September almost? That's crazy. And for y'all who are in my Club Creative Kit, I'm getting that file together as well. So I've been cutting all day, cutting and trying to figure out, like, working out little kinks and things like that with files and all of that, test cutting. All right. There we go. There we go. Okay. What color should I paint the back? Should I paint the back white? What do y'all think? I'm thinking white. for this guy. Because the fall colors are kind of muted, you know, like colors that I don't know that would look good against a dark board. So I think we might just go with white on this backboard. All right, so this is an 18-inch round. Most of the time I do 18-inch rounds for y'all. Next month, I'm actually doing a 16-inch one because I realized when I went to put, do I even have a sponge over here yet? I don't know where I put all that stuff. I'll just use a brush. I'll just use a brush. That, I'll just give you a sneak idea, a sneak little hint. It's a haunted house, and the haunted house, because it's time for Halloween, right? Halloween files. So the haunted house, when I cut it in one piece, I was like, oh wait, that's not gonna fit on the Glowforge. So, rather than try to rework the entire file, I just made it into a 16-inch door hanger instead of an 18-inch door hanger. And I know a lot of y'all do 16-inch ones, so I figured that would work as well. I don't know why I do 18-inch. I always do just big wreaths and big door hangers on my door. This is just Deco Art White, y'all. I probably should move the phone down a little bit so y'all can see. There we go. Yeah, this is just Deco Art White. So, so we have a fun haunted house door hanger coming up. And we have some really fun Halloween files coming up. So I'm super excited about that. I love Halloween and Christmas projects. Those are my favorite. So when it's time to start getting those cranked out, I get very excited. So if y'all are watching, say hey and tell me what you're doing today. This is a shiplap, 18-inch shiplap round. And as usual, I gave you guys a split version. So if you want to cut a full-size door hanger, and you only have a Glowforge Basic or smaller laser, or you don't know how to use your pass-through, because some people don't like using their pass-through, don't want to fiddle with it. You can cut this in 2 pieces, and the cut is hidden in the shiplap lines. Actually, I'm going to distress this a little bit. I'm going to do some black on these lines. I think that'll make this more fall looking. Oh, Bonnie, you're cutting numbers for your mailbox? I never thought about doing that before. That is a great idea. Are you cutting them out of 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch? And do you seal them? Like, how do you do that for outside? I always put shellac. Is it shellac? Am I calling it the right thing? It's not varnish. I put the clear poly stuff, the spray, on my stuff that's gonna hang outside and not be under a porch. If it's going on my porch, I say my porch, I don't have a porch anymore, I moved. I do have a porch in Louisiana. I have a smaller porch that is covered, so that's good. Then I generally don't seal them. All right, so we're gonna let that dry, and then we'll do some distressing with black. 1/4 inch and seal with clear shellac spray. Yep, that's what I do. I'm drinking a bubbly bounce, so it's caffeinated. Have y'all ever tried those, the caffeinated ones? I figure I could use a little caffeine this afternoon. Let that dry there. And let's see. All right. How about, I just got new paint, you guys. Ooh, I'm gonna try this color. This is cute. This is Periwinkle. Krylon Crystal Clear. Oh, okay. This is, yeah, Americana, Periwinkle. I think that would be cute on here, on his hat. Oh, I love this color. This is really cute. This is, yeah, it's not really an office, honestly. It is, my laser shop is just one big open building. It's like a 4-bay garage, but none of it is divided off. It's all open. So behind me, I have this, this is just like a photo backdrop hanging up, the wood, just to kind of not make it look so unfinished behind me. But the laser is actually behind there. So I'm sitting in the kind of the middle section. And then the laser is over on the far side of the building. It's in the 4th garage bay down. That's where the laser and all the wood and all of that, the packing supplies, the boxes and all that are. So we have basically one bay to store our stuff, because we are going to be splitting our time between here and Louisiana, but we haven't bought another place or built another place here yet. So while we're here, we're just staying with family, and we're gonna kind of watch Zillow and have, you know, our realtor keep her eye out for things here. But we probably will end up building next year here. So in the meantime, we built this building because we needed a place to put all our stuff. And so we kind of set up like our living room furniture and our TV and stuff in here so we can like hang out. We have a refrigerator. We don't have running water, so we don't have a bathroom or anything like that. But my in-laws' house is right there, so we can just run over there. So yeah. So it's basically like a big garage, but it is air conditioned, heated and air conditioned. So that is big for us because my old garage was not air conditioned. All right, I'm gonna do natural buff. And maybe like color his cheeks in a little bit, give him some blush. These are new paintbrushes, y'all. I got these paintbrushes from Amazon, and I love them. They are Meeden. I'll link them in the video when I get done. But they are like, they feel nice and sturdy in your hand. They just feel like nicer paintbrushes. I always buy the angled ones. I feel like I can get better control with an angled brush. And his face is scored on here for placement of the little eyes, nose, and mouth, but I'm coloring over those. I can still see the score lines, but I'm just gonna cover over them with my paint. And then I can still see where to put everything. working towards a she shed for your business. Oh, thank you. There wasn't much in here when I did the tour. Let me see if I can find a sponge stick, because I want to do some cheeks. Hold on just a second, y'all. I tried to be so organized when I moved, and I don't have everything set up. Like once I get to Louisiana, I'll feel more organized, and I'll know where everything is, because a lot of it is packed. But I have a bin of craft stuff that I'm taking down there, and I thought I put sponge stuff in it, but I don't think I did. Maybe they're back here where they normally are. That would be nice. Oh, goodness gracious. I know where my glitter is, so I can make my shakers tomorrow. Okay, well, we're just going to have to use a brush. When I find them, I'm going to be like, oh, that's exactly where I put them. Oh, goodness. All right, so a little bit of pink on his cheek. So this is cactus flower. It's a really pretty pink color. And I'm just gonna kind of color in just a little blush. On his cheeks. I just thought that would be cute. Just like that. You can't really see it very well yet, but once we get all his face on, I think it'll look cute. So what is everyone doing today? Oh no, I don't need to transport my painting area. I'm gonna have it set up down there. I have a table that's gonna be permanently set up down there that I'll have an entire supply of paint and brushes and all of that. We're still in transition right now, so everything is just kind of a mess. I had to get my kids in school, so we had all their dorm stuff. And we had to get them moved and get all their stuff set up. And so now that we've gotten that done and we can just take a breath, my husband's last day of work is tomorrow. And after that, I'm going to have his help. And then we can start getting some things organized. So right now, I'm just kind of still trying to do my cutting and my files and things like that for my memberships. And it's just been still a little bit chaotic. So, but no, I'll have everything set up in Louisiana. So I have a permanent spot with a door, which I didn't have a door in my dining room last time. So, whoops, whatever was going on in my house, you know, it was hard to have any privacy. So I'm gonna have some privacy to do my videos, and I'm gonna do some videos at night when I can catch more people live. So that will be really nice. And yeah, I'm super excited to get all set up down there. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out some yellow for his straw hair. I did go get some more paint at Hobby Lobby the other day just so I'd have a stash in both places. Okay, so I'm gonna use cadmium yellow and antique gold. Bonnie, we're leaving on Labor Day. Yeah, we're heading down on Labor Day. And we're towing a boat. We're gonna have our cat and our dog. And my husband has to do all the driving because I don't tow things. Nobody wants me towing anything, I can assure you. So we are going to tow the boat down, and it's probably going to take us 2 days just because it's a lot of driving for him to do in one day. And towing the boat is going to make it a little tricky, and just having animals and all that. My dog is pretty easy to travel with, but my cat, not sure how that's going to go. So my father-in-law is a vet. I don't know if y'all know that or not. He's turning 80 on Saturday. He is still practicing. He's cut his hours back, but he's still practicing, and he is an amazing veterinarian that is very well known in our town. If you mention that he's your father-in-law, everyone's like, oh, I know him. Everyone knows Dr. Taylor. So I asked him, I said, okay, I've heard that there's a medicine that you could give cats that just kind of, relaxes them for travel. Can I get some of that? He said that he thinks they do better without it. So y'all tell me, if you have traveled with a cat, I trust my father-in-law's professional opinion. However, he is, I won't say he's not a cat person. He has a cat, but he's more of a dog person. And I'm like, I know he hasn't ever traveled a long distance with a cat in the car. I do know that. And I know people who have traveled a long distance with a cat in the car, and they drug their cat. So if you traveled with your cat, did you drug your cat? Did you give your cat a chill pill for the trip down to wherever you were going? Because I am nervous about not giving him something. I don't know if that's going to be a nightmare. Okay, so this is antique gold. So I'm kind of just taking my paintbrush and just streaking his hair with this antique gold. So he's got cadmium yellow and antique gold, and then we'll put some black and white in there too. So I just kind of streak that a little bit, like so. See, the catnip tends to make my cat like more playful than relaxed. I'm not sure catnip would be something that would help him be chill. I don't know though. He's going to be in a carrier, but we've taken him on a couple of short trips just to kind of test him out and see how he did. And like when we had our house on the market, we had to get, out of the house sometimes with the animals to let people look at the house. And we took him in the car then. And he actually did better if we had the carrier, but we opened the door so that he could it's like knowing the door was open made him more relaxed. Like I know I'm not going to ever open my car door with him loose because I'm afraid he'll bolt. Even though that's not really like him to do that, I know that, he could do that because he's scared. So, all right, let's see. I want to put this together a little bit as I go along because I want to see what it's looking like before I decide colors. All right, I think this glue is not clogged, hopefully. So I'm going to go ahead and put his little facial features on. He did better than expected, and we're staying at my in-laws' river house right now, which is an hour away from here. And I was worried about how he would be down there because he's never lived anywhere other than our house. Like he's an indoor cat. That's been his home his whole life. He's 10. He actually has done fabulous. Like he has been totally fine down there. All right, I haven't highlighted it yet, but that's my little face. How cute. If they eat catnip, it calms them. If it's a spray, they are playful. Oh, okay. Well, I've never used a spray, but okay, maybe I'll try some catnip then and just see if that helps. I didn't even think of that. I have a big container of it. So, all right, how am I gonna do these eyes? Let me see. I'm just gonna do like some white. All right, I'm gonna go back and put some more white on there. Let's see. Let that dry a little bit more. Okay, so on the hat, I want to do a pattern of some sort. So let me see. Maybe some orange on there. Buy mine off of Amazon and they eat it. Oh, okay. I mean, it's not possible to like overdose them though, right? Like if I give it to him, like if I'm in the car with him all day, how often should I give it to him? Or should I just put it in the carrier? Like I don't know anything about catnip. I've just given him like a little bit before. All right, so I'm gonna take, this is jack-o'-lantern orange, and I'm just gonna like do some diagonal, like some crisscrosses. So I'm gonna make some diagonal stripes first. Hello, Renee. I wouldn't think so. I don't know how much they should or shouldn't have. I'll have to just do some research and try to figure that out. All right, and then I'm going to go back the other way. Cute. So that's what I have so far for his hat. And I think I'm going to do black for his band. The band around the hat. And then our little sunflower on his hat. I'm just kind of mixing in a little of the gold with that as well. So the gold and yellow colors on there. And then this is just dark chocolate or milk chocolate? Dark chocolate for the middle of the sunflower. And this is like a little piece of straw that kind of sticks out of his sleeve a little bit. So all the yellow and gold pieces just kind of give it that little like bit of texture, I think, to it. Okay, so, oh, you know what I want to do before I do these pieces? Let me do a little distressing on the backer. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is all right, I'm going to take a black Posca pen. No, I'm not either. I'm going to do a paintbrush. I'm going to do a paintbrush. All right. Okay, and I'm just going to take and go along these stripes, these shiplap lines with my black. And I feel like I do better if I pull it towards me. Just like that. Okay, and then try not to get paint on my shirt. I'm gonna take a chip brush and put some white paint on it. and I don't want too much white paint. I'm dabbing off most of it. All right, that's actually not... All right, I think I'm gonna have to let this black dry a little bit. Let me let this dry first. That's not looking like I want it to look. All right, so we're gonna take our big brush again and just go back over that with white. Let me let that black dry and then we're gonna go over it. I thought maybe I should do that, but I wasn't sure. It's been a while since I tried this. And then, who was it in our group the other day? Was it in our group? Somebody posted a picture where they had done this on a backer. And I was like, I've done that before, but I can't remember exactly how I did it. So, I need to let that black dry, I think. And I've made a big gray area down here. That's all right, y'all. See, you learn from my mistakes. It's just paint. All right, we're gonna let that dry, and then I'll go back over it with white. It will be okay. All right, so let's do our shirt. Let's do that. Our sleeve. Okay, so let's see. If he has a periwinkle hat, I think that his shirt should be orange. And so we'll keep with the orange and periwinkle color scheme. This one, I'm just gonna do orange, and I'm gonna go right over his patch. I can go back and color that in later. Do you guys have any questions? Any questions about the group, about the files, about finding things? Donna, your 3-year-old granddaughter. I'm trying to see the rest of your comment. Oh, your granddaughter likes to watch coloring videos on TV and you realized you're the same. That's so funny. I love to watch painting videos. Okay. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna do some dots on this sunflower. And I know y'all think I'm crazy, but I'm dipping my white Posca pen in white paint because this one is not very inky and it's getting towards the end of its life. And I feel like this gives me like the ability to get those tiny little dots like I want, but I can get a nice bright white. So don't necessarily throw away your Posca pens when they run out of ink. You can just dip them in your paint. So I just made like a little dotted center for that sunflower. And then probably gonna do the same thing on here because I wanna do some white to brighten this up a little bit. Just kind of going along here with my white paint. Just kind of right next to the orange. Just like that, just to kind of brighten it up a little bit. So you can kind of see it better from a distance. And I'm doing the same thing with the white on here. And it just kind of brightens up so you can see his facial features a little bit better. Donna, I don't know if they're tips. I've told y'all so many times that I am not a painter. I'm not even a file maker. I'm a nurse, honestly. I'm a nurse. I have no graphic design training, I have no formal training doing any of this, but thank you. I just like to do it. But I'm better at making the files than I am at painting them. I do not admit to be a good painter whatsoever. I wish that I was a better painter for you guys. But I do feel like that I've improved some. All right, this is just the little band on his hat. All right, let me see how this is gonna look together. I just keep adding white. Because I know adding white and black really does kind of make it pop from a distance, and that draws your eye to it. You don't look at all the little imperfections, you look at like the entire thing, you know what I mean? You don't like zoom in and go, oh, that doesn't look good, that little area. Okay, yep, I think I'm liking that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put this hat together because I wanna see what this looks like. I want to see what damage I've done here. with these weird things that I do. You can call them techniques. That makes me sound like I know what I'm doing. I actually do like that though. I think that turned out pretty good. I'm kind of excited about that. So sometimes things work out. Okay, so I think that's actually pretty cute. I'm afraid to hold it up. It's not really dry yet, but anyway, I think that's pretty cute. Okay, I'm pretty excited about that. Because sometimes I'm not with the things that I do, and I'm like, oh, why did I do that? Why did I mess up my paint? All right, so this time I'm gonna use a brush. My nice new brushes that I've gotten paint all over already. I'm gonna take a baby wipe and clean them up after this. I was trying to keep these brushes really nice. I don't know if that's gonna happen. Thank you, Renee. I'm trying. Okay, so that's his little hair. I don't think I'm gonna do any black on that. I think black will be too much on that. I think I'm just gonna leave it white. So I'm just kind of crisscrossing it. Not crisscrossing, but just sort of like putting just some, kind of going in different directions with it. Like that, over top of the yellow and the gold. Now, I feel like this shirt needs some like, or the overalls or whatever needs some, they need something. So let me think if, I wonder how this orange will show up on here. Let me try something here. No, that's not gonna show up. I want to do like a tone on tone. That's not going to show up either, really. Well, shoot, none of these are doing what I want them to do. All right, hold on. All is not lost. We're gonna try something. I wanna do like a tone on tone dot. But I don't have my little sponge sticks. I can't find them. Where did I put them? I just wish I could find all my stuff. It's driving me crazy. Okay, we're going to, all right, hold on. Hold on. Let me go back over this and cover up that boo-boo there. Y'all probably can't see it, but I can. All right, and then I'm gonna try to freehand dots. Lord knows how that's gonna go. Thank you, Laura. Laura needs to paint for me because I've seen, Laura, I've seen what you can do, girl. Your painting has gotten amazing. I am super impressed. All right, so do I do dots on the orange or dots on the periwinkle? I think I'm gonna do dots on the orange. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little bit of white and mix it in with my orange and try to make like a lighter orange color on here. I probably need some more paint though. Y'all, this could fail. It probably will fail. right, so far we have that. So I guess that's not so bad, right? Thanks, Renee. Ooh, the bottom of the Posca pens? Do you mean like this? Like the bottom of it? What? Shut up. Oh, girl. Like dirty up the bottom of my Posca pen. Is that what you mean? Thank you, Laura. All right. If that's what you're talking about, I mean, I can always wipe it off, right? This is about the same size. This is a fine tip, and it's about the same size as these other dots that I did. That worked pretty good. It got a lot of paint on there though, is the only thing. It's gonna probably take a while to dry. All right, this is not so bad. Let me go back over these a little bit just so they're more like even size. Okay, and let me do, while I have this, let me do the sleeve. This one I can go off the edge, which is what I really need to be able to do. Laura, thank you. Is that what you do? Do you not use the sponges? I know my sponges are somewhere. Watch, I probably packed them because we have a pod that we rented. We had it in our driveway for about a month, and we loaded it with stuff to go to Louisiana. So it's wherever pods go, you know, when they're in between locations. And watch, I probably put my sponges in there. But see, I don't know why I would have done that. I was very careful to go through my craft room and divide everything up. So I had, okay, half of this, half of that. Like half of this stays here, half of this goes to Louisiana. I went all through my craft room and did that. And people, I would hear people say, people who would move, they would say, oh, I lost it in the move. And I actually would think, how did you do that? Like, I don't understand how you lose stuff in the move. You just, when you pack it up, you label it. And, whew, now I know how people lose stuff in the move. Now I completely get it. My poor son, we got him to college the other day, and he's like, Mom, where are my pillows? And I'm like, oh Lord. Luckily, we found one pillow, which was a pillow that he had, I guess from last year, that was pretty flat. And he's a kid who likes like 3 pillows. So I got on Amazon and I ordered him some more pillows. But of course, for 2 days, he had to live with one flat pillow. He survived. I know y'all were worried. But I got back here to the barn where I had tried to be organized, and I had put, you know, all of my daughter's stuff in one pile, my son's stuff in another pile, the things that did not go in the pod that we still needed to take in the back of our truck to Louisiana in another pile. And I had all my craft stuff over here. And I thought I was so organized about it. And his pillows had ended up in the pile to go to Louisiana. And I mean, once I saw him, I remembered exactly what I had done. I had these vacuum sealer bags, like the vacuum bags that like the Space Saver bags that I had ordered from Amazon. And I had put like 3 pillows in one of those bags for him. And I told him when I was doing it, I was like, hey, I'm doing one of these bags so that you can fit these in your car, because he has a little Mazda and he doesn't have a whole lot of space. And he's like, oh, cool, you know. Well, then they ended up in the pile to go to Louisiana, and that's why they weren't at college. So anyway, I'm sure my sponge pouncers are on their way to Louisiana. So then these patches, I think I'll do the patches in black. That's purely out of laziness because I have this black Posca pen and I think that will be the easiest way to do these patches. And I don't feel like doing 3 coats of white. All right, he's turning out cuter than I thought, y'all. I was kind of worried about this one. I feel like this one required a little bit more painting skill than I had in me. Cute. Okay, I'm excited about this. Let me do a little bit of white on that straw. I have to say, I'm really liking this technique of dipping the Posca pen in the paint, for the white at least. It's working pretty well. Oh, we have to do these little buttons. And then we have to do the letters. I almost forgot about the letters. I hate the sponges. I can't get them to work for me. You know, I know what you mean about the air bubbles though. They do, I do get a lot of air bubbles with those. But yeah, thank you so much. That was a great tip for using the end of the Posca pen. I never thought of that. And like I said, there's a lot of paint on there. They're gonna take a little while to dry, but that's okay because there's no air bubbles and they look really nice. They're nice and even. All right, I hope I can salvage this backer over here. I feel like I need some white on these patches. Like maybe like that. Just kind of. We just need a little something, something. There we go. Alrighty. All right, now I haven't done the letters. I'm thinking the letters, I might do the welcome in black and fall. I'm gonna have to see how this looks. Fall in either the orange or the periwinkle. I'm not sure. I do want to do one in black though. All right, but I need to get this backer to look good. So let me fix what I've done over here and see if I can redeem myself with this mess. All right, here, I need to throw this one away. That's probably too much paint. Yeah, that's too much paint. Okay, well my gray nightmare is fixed. Now let's see if we can do some distressing like I wanted done. Where's that chip brush I just had? Oh, here it is. This chip brush has some black on it from that. I swear, y'all, I got paint everywhere. I'm looking in my bin again as if things are just going to magically appear in here like I had hoped the first time. They must be in the pod. I don't know where else they could be. Well, shoot. Shoot, shoot, shoot. All right, let's see what we can do here. That's more of what I had in mind. I just want to mute my black a little bit. I don't want my black so stark. There we go. All right, so that's kind of more of what I'm going for. Whoops, y'all can't even see it on that side. See, I'm like off center on the camera. I'm sorry. This is much better. Much, much better. Now, I do have that one area that I still need to fix that I messed up the first time. But I might be able to do it with the white paint being wet, kind of. We'll see. I think I should probably leave well enough alone. Okay, so this is what I was going for, more of a muted look to it, but the bottom one is not muted yet because I need to wait for the black to dry. All right, let's see. All right, you know what? If I let this dry while I do the letters, then I think I'll be able to fix that last line. I don't know why I bothered getting my nails done yesterday because I have paint everywhere. See, brush working great, and you'll find the others right after you're done. I will. I know I will. I know I will find them right after I'm done. They are around here somewhere. I do have a couple of those Rubbermaid, not Rubbermaid, Sterilite, you know, the drawers, the plastic drawers. So y'all, this is funny. So I figured out when I moved that I own a ridiculous amount of those plastic drawer systems, okay? You know, the crappy ones that when you pick them up, if you don't pick them up from the bottom falls out, and that you can't put very much in the drawers because they fall apart. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Those crappy ones you can get at like Walmart and Target. Okay, I had a lot of those because I had them in my craft room. I had some in my closet. And when I moved, I sent some to college with my kids because I figured that's good college stuff. They can stick that in their closet. They can put their school supplies, you know, their extra like toiletries in them and all of that. So what I discovered was that they made my husband irrationally angry. He, to use his words, he said that he never wants to see any of those ever again in his life, that they make him irrationally angry because we had so many of them fall apart when we were trying to move, and it was very frustrating. I will say that it was very frustrating, but I got to the point where I was like, okay, today we're moving from A to B. I would have to like disclose the information to him at the beginning of the day. Okay, today we are moving 3 plastic drawer systems. I need for you to remain calm while we do so. You do not need to touch the drawer systems. I will move them myself. And it just, I don't know, y'all, it became a thing. It was comical. But yeah, they made him irrationally angry, he said, because he was so tired of them falling apart. All right, I guess I'll use a brush for my black letters so I don't sit here all day painting them. This one right here. All right, so we're gonna do the welcome in black. So yes, I have been banned from purchasing plastic drawer systems for the remainder of my lifetime. And I told him, I said, look, I was just trying to save money because they're cheap and they're perfect for a craft room and a closet. You know, I was just trying to be frugal. He has given me permission to spend more money and buy better quality items at this point in our lives. And he's normally a very calm person, but yes, they made him irrationally angry. Well, Bonnie, that's probably a smart way to do it, but I'm lazy and I wanted to just move them all in one foul swoop. So I just took painter's tape and I taped the drawers shut. But then I didn't realize that when I picked them up, they would still fall apart. And I have a tendency to overload drawers. I overload drawers and I overload boxes. Honestly, there should be a support group for people like me who do that regularly, because when we were packing, I would, not thinking about the fact that I had to actually move the boxes, I would pack a box really, really full and very, very heavy. And then I couldn't move it, so I'd ask my husband to move it. And he's like, what on earth did you put in here? And the box would barely close. It's my, as they say, it's my toxic trait. My toxic trait is overfilling drawers and boxes. Don't y'all love painting black? So, because you don't have to worry about if you get paint on the sides. I love it. Okay, and then the fall, I think I'm gonna do it in the periwinkle color. I think that'll pop more against the white. And a little bit bigger brush. You overload them too. My daughter stacks the plastic drawers on top of each other in her closet. She has, oh, I have to see the rest of your comment. It won't let me see the whole thing. I pack my groceries the same way. Yes, I do that too. I'm in love with this periwinkle color. This is like, you know how I've always loved the sea foam? Not sea foam, sea breeze. Because I love everything aqua. Aqua's always been my color. This periwinkle, this is right up there for me. This is really pretty. And I think it mixes pretty for fall. Like I like how it looks with orange. And I'm not a big orange fan, but when you mix it with a cool color like this, I really like it. Do y'all remember getting colorized? Or your mother's getting is it called getting colorized? Where you go get your colors done? Do y'all remember that? I don't think that's still a thing. But where you would go, I don't even know where you went, but you would go to somebody who would colorize you. And they would tell you what colors looked good on you, whether you looked good in cool colors, warm colors, if you looked good in silver jewelry or gold jewelry. Do y'all remember that? It was a thing back in the 80s. At least in the small town I lived in, it was a thing. And I want to say my mother did Mary Kay at one point, and she did beauty control. I think it was called beauty control. Does that sound familiar? At another point. And I want to say no, not Lady Remington. Lady Remington's a razor. I think it was just Remington. There was some sort of jewelry line. But anyway, so yeah, you would go get your colors done. And it's just stuck with me my whole life that I'm a cool color person and I don't look good in warm colors. And there are very few people in the world who look good in both. My daughter is one of those people. I've always told her that. She looks good in yellow, but she also really looks good in blues and purples. Oh Lord, I've got white paint. I've made a white paint mess here with my backer. Okay. Where is my chip brush now? I can't keep track of my chip brush. Oh, here it is. Anyway, I've told my husband over the years that he needs to wear cool colors. He's a cool color. And he always wants to wear, I call them the fire colors. He loves yellow, orange, and red. And those are not his colors, y'all. And I keep telling him, and he didn't listen. For a while there, he had quite a collection going of yellow shirts. I hated those yellow shirts. All right, those are the little buttons. Okay, so this backer is still a little bit damp. Well, it's very damp on the bottom because I'm getting paint all over me again. If you didn't even understand why it's so funny, he's normally calm, but he hates those bins. That is so funny. I can't see. Your husband told you once that he'll immediately melt the plastic bins in the fire pit if I attempt to bring them home. That is hilarious, Laura. That is definitely, that's us. That sounds like something my husband would do. My husband has thrown many things into the fire pit that he did not want inside our house anymore. That is his solution, is to throw them in the fire pit. With the exception of, my son stopped him from throwing old electronics into the fire because they had lithium batteries. And so he didn't do that. All right, hold on, let me figure out which one to put on here first. All right, I'm gonna do this shirt. And so because his friend who does security, like internet security, told him to not, I'm just getting paint all over me because it's on the edge down here, hold on. Told him to never throw old computers and cell phones away because even if you set them to factory settings or deleted everything or whatever, people could still get your information. So this is funny. My husband's solution, because we had a whole stack when we moved, my husband's solution of what to do with these old laptops and phones and iPads and things was to take one of those plastic bins, I'm like way off center again, and submerge them in salt water. Like he actually put water in the bin, and then, I'm not gluing this down yet, y'all, because it's still wet, but I wanted to see, I like to let y'all see what it looks like. So he put salt, he made a saltwater solution. He used to do water stuff, water quality for our power company. So he submerged these old electronics in this salt water for like a week. And I'm just like, what are you doing? What in the world? Because he figured after that, nobody could possibly, everything was useless. Nobody could get anything off of them. I'm like, well, that's different, but okay. I probably need to move this up a little bit. Maybe I can fit it right here. I'm trying to fit it on this line. I like to put things right on the line. There we go. Just makes it easy to line up. Oh, I love it. Okay, I was really scared of this one, y'all, I have to admit. And this one, I don't hang many door hangers with twine instead of, the fencing wire that I normally use. But this one, because it's fall, I think would look super cute if you took some thick twine and fed it through and then did like some chunky knots. I think that would look super cute for this one. All right, let me turn this around so y'all can see. And I think I've actually flipped the camera today so that, can y'all see that? I am in love with this. I am so excited about this. I can't wait to glue it down and hang it on my front door of my new house. I know, are we married to the same man? I don't know, but I mean, I just thought that was so funny. I'm like, really, salt water? You're gonna put these in salt water? And he set him out there. Like a week later, I look in the backyard and I'm like, what is that nasty bin? What is that? And it was the salt water with all the laptops in it, just sitting in the backyard. And I was like, what in the world is happening here? I don't know. Okay, I just love it. I love it. I can't wait. I'm gonna take a picture of it and post it for y'all. I'm gonna get all this glued down. So excited. All right. Thank y'all so much for joining me. That was super fun. Once I get this all put together, I'll take pictures of it. I'm gonna go because I'm gonna go finish working on your files for next month. But this has been so fun, and thank you for hanging out with me for another completely Hot Mess Express crafting afternoon. And hopefully when I get it to Louisiana, I'll have it together. Thank you, Laura. All right, thanks guys. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.